straight into the speeches, so I'd like to introduce the father of the bride, it's Tim.
I must admit that I am the proudest dad in the world to have walked Helen up the aisle today. I think you will all agree that she looked absolutely stunning. Helen has always been the most amazing daughter from the minute she was born. She never caused Irene and myself any sleepless nights. She's an ambitious girl and who loves travelling. She's determined and knows what she wants. She is a generous, kind person, sincere and a good friend. She loves coming home, especially since the arrival of her two nieces. I'm very happy to welcome James into the family. Because Helen is my only daughter, the standards had to be high. And indeed, James measured up. James, like myself, is a Manchester United supporter. So he got off to a good start. He's a very hard-working, ambitious man and a credit to his parents. James and Helen are perfectly matched, and I have never seen them as happy as they have been since they met. She's never been as happy since she met. They set up a lovely home together in Leeds, and I hope that it will be filled with many happy memories. I hope you all have a great day and enjoy yourself. I would like to propose a toast to the bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. Wilson. Thank you. Yeah. Cheers.
Right guys, first of all, I'd like to thank Tim for those great words. Clearly Helen is loved very much by you and Eileen, and I just hope that I can continue to do that for a very long time to come. Now, normally I actually do go on quite often and on and on and on in my speeches, so I will try and break tradition and keep this relatively short so you can get your dinners down here. So the first thank you, because there's going to be a lot of thank yous in this, is to everyone in this room today. Some have come from quite far, some have spent a lot of money to come here today, and obviously you've all booked off the day off work. So, to you guys, we really appreciate it. But unfortunately, there are some missing faces for various reasons. So, the first toast of today, can I make to absent friends, please? So I think the biggest thank you today has to go to both sets of parents. Because without these guys, without their support and their contribution, well, that's just typical. You know what? It's Mum's phone off.
Oh, I didn't hear.
If you want, you can answer it. It's a boss. So, as I was saying before that phone went off in the crowd, yes. So, without your help and contribution, including obviously helping us pay for this, we wouldn't be, being able to do this sort of day today. So, thank you guys. Tim and Eileen, you've clearly raised a beautiful and caring daughter. You love her so much. She loves you guys a lot. I imagined, when you moved back to Ireland from London, that she'd never marry a Yorkshireman, but here we are, and I'm grateful for your blessing, and I hope I can be a son-in-law that you want out of me and more. So, thank you. And of course, there's the three brothers. So when a guy hears that the only daughter has three brothers, You know, it can be a daunting task when you finally have to meet them. You know, we've all heard the horror stories, we've all seen the movies. But it couldn't be far from the truth. You know, Kevin, Barry and Liam, all of them are so welcoming to the family. They've treated me like a brother when I've been to see them. You know, we've gone to the pub, we've done other stuff. I mean, we even went to Australia and stayed with them for 2 weeks and didn't even meet them before. So they must have trusted me. Or Helen sold me in well, that's all I'm going to say. And it also, as Tim led earlier, makes it makes a change watching football with non-Leeds United fans, because you know what, it's not good. And then finally, Mum and Dad, without the love and care that you've given me, I wouldn't be here today as the man I am. You know, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing today without you pushing me in every aspect of my life. You know, I bet you thought when you had an only child it'd be a very easy life. Not quite. You know, for those who don't know me too well, I was not a problem child by any means, but if I had £1 for every time I had a disagreement with these two, my mum more so, I wouldn't have to work ever in my life. You know, if it wasn't coming in late from a night out and trying to cook and make the kitchen a mess, or not doing any of my homework on time, it was probably doing the cardinal sin, which is messing up the cushions or lying on. You know, in the Wilson household, you can't lie on a cushion, you just look at it. But on a serious note, I hope you're proud of me, and I hope you're proud of what we're doing today and what we will do for a very long time. And also, you know, I have to thank you for openly accepting Helen from day one into our family and treating her like a daughter. So thank you very much for that. Before we do a toast to you guys, we just want to give you a couple of gifts to the mums to just show us a little sign of our appreciation. So if you can, Helen, are you going to give them? Maybe I should have got it actually. Tell you what. I'll make her work for it.
There's a wire.
And I'll give you one. So, can I make our next toast, please, to the families? You all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So next, I need to thank the bridesmaids and the little gorgeous flower girls. You know, you all look beautiful today. Even Sophia and Nicole looking gorgeous. As you can see, she's so cute. But Miriam, Marie and Deborah, you've all been there for Helen at various stages of this big day. You know, 12 months ago when we started planning this, you know, Helen was straight on the phone to you guys. You've always been there for when she's needed you, even though you all live in Ireland. And, you know, I have to absolutely thank you for that, for helping organise this day. And also importantly, you know, getting Helen's hen party sorted out, which she really enjoyed. You know, I am grateful she has friends like you guys to turn to, especially when obviously, you know, most of her friends do live abroad. And I guess it keeps her sane with someone like me living on her own. So, you know, thank you for that. So our next toast, please, is to the bridesmaids and the flower girls. So now it gets interesting. We're on to the groomsmen. So obviously these three fine gentlemen to the left of me have stepped up to the plate and accepted my offer to them to be my groomsmen. Now, Nick and Brad, who's the first two here, thank you for being ushers today. I appreciate your efforts. You know, you helped actually get everyone in that church quite well. I am surprised on you know, track records. I expected them in the, you know, in the back of the church or wherever. Thank you for that. I will order you a camel toe later on. Now, for anybody that's a joke, that's probably lost on all of you. A camel toe is not the camel toe you're thinking of. A camel toe is a camel toe drink that these three have now started to drink since our sort of bonding session Wednesday, so it's nothing dirty. Now, moving on to my best man. Okay, I'll be very, very careful how I talk about Kay now because I don't want any last-minute additions to his speech about me. So I've known Kay for about 10 years now. We met at university in Bradford, you know, when we actually lived next door to each other. And Kay's always been somebody that over those years I've always been able to go to for advice on a whole host of things. And he's had no qualms about telling me if I've been too dramatic or not, because often or not I am too dramatic. And I want to thank you for agreeing to be my best man. And I know you've had to turn down another close friend's wedding to be here today, so it does mean a lot that you're here. So the final toast, next toast please is to the groomsmen. Thanks guys. You've done a good job. And the last, and well, not least person to talk about here is myself. No, actually it's not, it's Helen. I could spend hours talking about Helen, I really could. And I'm sure I've bored a lot of people in this room to death about Helen in the past, but I will try and keep this relatively short and sweet. So people always ask me when they see Helen and they see me and they say, how on earth do you end up with someone like Helen? Now I used to always say, she's a lucky one to have someone like me. But I'll be honest, I won't kid myself anymore. As you can see, you know, she looks absolutely beautiful. Those who caught me at the church earlier may have seen almost a few tears in my eyes. You know, she looks stunning, and I'm a lucky guy to be at Conla, her my wife today. You know, how did we all get here, I suppose, is another question. It's quite strange because there's a few people in this room who actually played a part in this. I believe Helen and her friend Christina, who is in this room, missed a hen party in Ireland, Lorraine's. So what do? You do the next best thing and you go to an Irish bar. Now, in London, in London, yeah, of course. Now, I was down there with a few friends from university on a bit of a reunion night. We ended up at the same bars. Now, Helen caught my eye on the dance floor. I'd love to say it was, you know, it was the smooth moves that did it, but I think it was the bullshit and you know, a couple of drinks later, we spent all night talking, exchanged numbers, and you know, said our goodbyes. Now, did I ever think I'd see Helen again? Probably not, because she was in London, I was in Leeds, you know. But actually, miraculously, she started texting me and we started talking. You did. You Facebooked me first. But we did meet up about a month later, and you know, we then basically kicked off something fantastic. You know, we spent a year doing the long distance travelling, which, you know, in the main was not plain sailing. You know, when you're stuck on a train every Friday in delay after delay after delay, you start to curse what's going on. But you know, it was always worth it. And I remember Helen telling to me when she used to see me coming up the stairs to her flat that I looked so happy to see her, and it was the truth. But you know, often those train journeys were hell, but you know, it was all worth it. So finally, Helen agreed to move to Leeds after a year, you know, which is a big ask. Bear in mind, she knows nobody in Leeds until me. And she's stayed here ever since. You know, we bought our first house 18 months ago. And, you know, for those of you who don't know now, you will find out we are probably moving to Dubai within a few months, you know, within about 3 months' time. So, you know, Helen clearly, as Tim said, likes to travel. You know, she's not scared of a change. And, you know, it's good, it's great. In terms of the proposal, again, you'll probably note on all the tables that the actually French names or places or terms. I proposed to Helen in Paris, quite softly, some people say quite cliche. It was on the Pont du Arc Bridge. If you don't know, that's the famous bridge with the padlocks on. So not a quiet venue. Now, I planned to do it at 10 o'clock at night when I thought it would be quiet and I could get down on one knee and no one would have a clue what's going on. But it became apparent as soon as we came there that there were hundreds of people on that bridge. So, you know, probably the most nerve-wracking moment of my life today. And, you know, I proposed to her. She said yes. We spent the next 45 minutes walking around in a circle because it was just beyond us. We then finally went to get a drink. Now, Helen, of course, got a glass of champagne, as you do. Now, this is something that will never ever happen again. I celebrated with an orange Schweppes. People know me, they know I wouldn't go for an orange Schweppes. But as soon as we came back, Helen threw herself into planning this day. I mean, literally every aspect of this day, Helen has planned meticulously. And, you know, she threw herself into it, and it's been amazing to see her, you know, take it on board. board. I literally have turned up on time and written the speech. But having said that, Helen can be a bridezilla. You know, certain last-minute guests pulling out got to feel, you know, haranga, I guess we say. But you know, she does make me the happiest girl in the world today, and it's been an absolute honour to marry her today, and I cannot wait to spend the rest of my life with her. But on a final note, it's not going to be all plain sailing. There are 3 S's that I have to compete with in Helen's life now: sleeping, soaps, and shopping. But I will wrap up by saying, can I make the final toast to my new beautiful wife, Helen Wilson? Thank you very much.
James, thanks for the kind introduction. As everyone knows, well, James introduced me. I'm Kay, James's best man. And this is the bridge, actually, that you were talking about, right? Where he proposed and almost shut his pants. But really, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to congratulate these lovely 2 lovebirds in the pictures. Can everyone hear me? Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. So, sorry. Basically, I'd also like to say thank you to Helen for choosing such lovely bridesmaids. You all look wonderful. And also to Helen's parents for raising such a beautiful daughter. She's absolutely gorgeous. And to Pat and James, you know, they tried their best with... Pat and John, they tried their best with James. Yeah, they tried their best. And also to Brad and Nick, the groomsmen, for all their help today and for helping set this up and turning up sober. You know, that was good. Basically, I have to tell you, it was such an honour and privilege when James asked me to be his best man. Like, I had no idea. And it was quite funny because I think I gave him the worst, like, answer any guy wants when he asked his mate to be the best man. I remember we were having a drink, and then I knew he was thinking about proposing to Helen, and he asked me to be his best man. And I was like, can I get back to you? And I felt really, really bad, and it took me like 2 weeks to like give him a proper answer, but it's only because I didn't want to let him down. And so as he sort of mentioned as well, James and I have been together for 10 years. And then Helen came along, but no. And yeah, I actually remember the day that we met. It was like 10 years ago, and so we were moving into Bradford University student halls. It was like a week, it's next week, 10 years ago basically. And my parents were helping me move into these halls, and I opened the door to the corridor to the flat, and like, guess who was living in the room next to me? This guy. Sleazy Gilson, as they know it. And basically, I'm walking past the room. James is just stood there in his room looking pretty. Pat's unpacking a suitcase like with 4 perfectly ironed shirts. John's like carrying M&S food bags. I only went to Morrison's, but they had M&S food bags. And I walked past and I was like, you know what, I'm convinced that this guy is just a little bit special. And for those of you that know him, then yeah, I was right. But I'm not going to win this out. I want us all to have a nice evening, have a great dinner. Basically, I'm so happy to be here. Shit, that shouldn't be in there, that one. That shouldn't be in there. Basically, I am really happy to be here. And Helen, you always look so beautiful and fantastic. And today you look absolutely stunning. And basically, I just want to say you two have one of the most beautiful relationships that I've ever seen. And all I want to do is also try and find someone that can fulfill me the way that I see you two fulfill each other. And to close, like I said, I'm not going to win this out. To close, I just want to share with you actually a song that James and I would listen to whilst we were at university and getting ready for a big Bradford night out. This table will know what that's about. And this song would be on full blast, constant repeat. Let me make sure the volume's up. And basically, Helen shared with me that James still listens to this song every night, you know. So on that, I'd like to toast to James and Helen. I wish you both a very happy future together. Thank you for choosing me to be your best man. Thank you. Are you waiting for more?